Okay, welcome back to my channel, and we are going to continue from where we left off. We are going to just go through a practical question of what you have done to see how much you have grasped throughout the process, all the way from geoprocessing, exploring or exploiting the geospatial data, manipulating it with the use of cursors. Yeah, so let's see what you have learned. We are going to write a script that converts a text file to a feature class. So this text file is delimited by tabs or spaces. And then you are going to convert it to a feature class, which will contain 3 fields. It will contain the X, the Y, that is the longitude, latitude, and then the confidence level. So let's get right into it. First, we'll begin by importing the site packages, and you need to import Arcpy and OS, so you can run that. Let's go line by line. Then now we are going to work on try, except, and finally. And I had mentioned in the previous tutorial, which I'll leave in the link I'll leave a link in the description box. I had mentioned that the try, except, finally is used for error handling, and it will help us to know in case there is an error in the try block, then of course it will just skip and return the except and then the finally. So what I mean is, we'll just create a try block, then we'll put some code, then an except, then you put some code, then finally. So let's use an example. An example is, let's say we want to print, let's print yellow. Yeah. Then we also want to say except, so print. We want to print the error. Something went wrong. Okay, this is not a good way of debugging, but let's just use it. Something went wrong. Then finally will always be executed. Print you have come to an end. So if we run this, you will notice that. Let us just run it, then I explain what's happening. You'll see something went wrong, you have come to an end. It means that the try block was not run successfully because you said print yellow, and yellow is not defined. We have not defined yellow anywhere, yet we are trying to call it. So if it was a string, it would have just worked fine. Let me show you what it could have done. It could have printed yellow and you have come to an end. But since now we have defined it as a variable which you have not defined or declared, then you get that error. But you can see the pretty way of handling errors. So let's apply that knowledge in what you are going to do. So we are going to try to first of all define our workspace, then open our text file. After we have opened the text file, we'll insert a cursor, and then we'll loop through the field that you have selected from the cursor, and then we will feed it with the X, Y, and the confidence level from the text files. But if that process is unsuccessful, it should return an Arcpy error message, and then finally it should delete the cursor and close the file. So let's do that quickly. So the try. So let's start by defining our workspace. Then to define our workspace, it should be a tab, just a workspace. First, let's create. We'll be hard coding first of all. Then when everything works well, we'll now change this to some dynamic code. So for now we'll just say arcpy.env .workspace. then we assign it. So our workspace, we are going to work on this. Let me just steal it from ArcGIS. We'll use this geoprocessing.mdb. So can just properties, then we copy that path, then paste it, then paste it here. We like to put the row formatting. Then after we have defined our workspace, we can now open the file we want to read, which is a text file. Open text file. So to open it, we'll use we'll just say f, which is the variable, and then we'll use open. Then now we declare the name of the file, which is, can just get the path. I have the path here, so it's a text file. Then copy path like that. Sorry, and just put row formatting there. Then we want it to be in read access. That is, you can only read. Then we also want to read the file line by line and convert it to a list. So we'll just say list, and then you can call it list of schools. And then say f dot read lines, just like that. Just say read line by line, just commenting it out. Then next we need to create our cursor. So and we are going to create an insert cursor. So open for read and write access. This is a cursor. Okay, so to create a cursor, we'll just name it cursor. Then we'll give it Arcpy dot insert cursor, and then the name of the file, which is in the geoprocessing.mdb. Now there is something we are supposed to do. In Arcpy, we are supposed to create this geodatabase, and then we are supposed to create, within the geodatabase, we are supposed to create feature class. So let me just show you that quickly, but I've already made a tutorial on how to work with a catalog. So wherever you want your geodatabase to appear, you just right click, then you say new. Let me just delete the one that exists. Okay, so I think there is a problem. We'll just create another new, and then personal geodatabase. Let's rename it to something like geoprocessing 1, because I already have another one named geoprocessing. Then we can change the path now. Sorry. So here we can change it to geoprocessing 1 like that. Then within the geodatabase, we need to create a feature class. So new feature class, and our feature class, the name, will just call it schools, and then it's a point feature type. Then you can click next. We'll just select geographic world, then 1984. We'll just use that one for now. Then click next. Then here we need to add a field, and this field we'll call it confidence level. We'll see how we'll use it in the code. confidence, make sure to spell it correctly. Confidence level. No, confidence value. Then it's going to be integer, a short integer. Then finish. Now we have these schools, but it's an empty feature class. Now we want to populate it with the points that we have in our text file. And here is a text file that I made. I can just open it so that you see. And as you can see, I've just made a sample text file with separated by tabs. Here's the first one, second one, like that, and so on and so forth. So this one should be populated into the feature class as points and confidence level. So we have opened the file, which is schools.txt. Then we have read it line by line. Then we have opened and insert cursor. And now we want to specify inside we want to look at the schools, the one that we created, the feature class. So it's called schools. Yeah. If it was not if it was a folder, we would have said schools.shp. Then next, after we have created our cursor, now let's do a for loop. We'll be looping through the school text file and insert latitude and longitude to school feature class. Yeah, so like that. That's a comment. Then tab it's so for school in lists of schools, this variable, we want to first write an if statement to check if latitude field exists in school, then we should continue. If not, then we should stop the whole process. So continue. That one is okay. Then you can move a tab backwards. Then now we need to set the values, that is the latitude, longitude, and the confidence level. And remember that our text file is split by tabs. So we'll set values, we just split by tabs. So you can say, for example, vals is equals to school dot split. Then you're going to split it by tabs. I think a tab is 2 spaces. Let me just confirm. Actually, it's 3 spaces. Then next, we're going to, let me just add the comment so that you can get to follow. Split by tab. Then next you're going to set the latitude and also the longitude. I hope you're following through. So the longitude value in our text file, let's look at the text file and study it a little bit. In our text file we have 3 columns. We have the longitude, the latitude, the longitude, and the confidence level. So the confidence level is at index 0, the longitude is at index 1, and the latitude is at index 2. So let's just do that the same way. So it will be, we just convert it into float first, then vals. So the latitude is in index 2, then the longitude is in index 1, And finally, the confidence level is in. We'll just convert it to an integer because the short integer. We had set the confidence level. Remember, we had set it in when we were creating the feature class, and we had added the new column with the value of confidence level, confidence value. So we'll just set it as the vals, and it's at index 0. Then next, we want to convert. Actually, we want to create points in Arcpy, and it's very easy to create points. You just say, for example, point as the variable point, so you use arcpy.point. If you wanted to create a polygon and find its area, it would be arcpy.polygon. A polyline, arcpy.polyline. So now it's a point. And then the point can take in two values, that's the x and y. X is the longitude, which I have specified here. And then, so you can just copy it and paste it there. And then comma, latitude. Copy and paste. Next, we're going to create a new row, and you're going to call it feet. You can call it whatever you want. So feet is equals to the cursor, which you created earlier, dot new row. If you remember, I had taught you about creating cursors and then creating rows. So within a cursor, it's a row. So the new row, it will just be an empty row. Then now we want to feed it. So we feed it with the shape, feet.shape, and feet.shape will give us the point, that is the latitude and the longitude. And then remember the shape I talked about when I was talking about tokens. That is the shape at XY, shape at area. So by default, the shape will give us the XY. Then now we can have the feet dot set value, and here is where the confidence level comes in. Remember, we created a new column called confidence level, confidence value, sorry. So first you need to create the column called confidence value before you can actually set the value in the program. So if you say feet set value, then you give it something like let's see, like name. Then you don't create it in the columns in ArcGIS. It won't be reflected. The code won't actually run. So you can leave it like that. Then finally we can insert. So it's cursor. Then let's insert. It's supposed to be cursor also. Cursor, insert row. And the row we are going to insert is feet, now that we have populated it. So first we say cursor dot new row. Then once you have populated it, cursor dot insert to insert the feet. Feet contains the points and the confidence value. As easy as that. Now we are done. Let's go to the except block. Now for the except, we'll just print out, let's return the error in case something goes wrong. So we'll just print Arcpy dot get messages. Then finally we need to first to release the lock. So releasing the locks means you delete the cursor. And then now we also close the file. Remember, we had mentioned about closing a file. So so far so good. I think we can try it out and see anywhere that we went wrong. So let's run it. and give it time to spin. So let me explain what will happen. Once it's finished, it should populate the school's feature class with the new points. So as you can see, there is no error, which is a very good thing. So let's go to ArcMap, and we had saved it in under geoprocessing 1. So let's just drag and drop it into this area to view. So let's view the attribute table. As you can see, it seems like it's empty. So I've noticed that there was a mistake somewhere here. I wrote config instead of config. You can just change that and then rerun it. Now let's check Arcpy, refresh. Then you can drag this into. Just remove this. So as you can see, let's open the attribute table. We have 10 points, and they are just similar to the 10 points that we had in the text file. So voila, it is done. Now what is left is just to take this script, make it dynamic, and then convert it into a tool that can be shared. So let's do that quickly. Go back to the code. Then you're going to make it dynamic, and I had said you can make it dynamic by using the get parameter as text from Arcpy. So we are going to change all of this, and we will prefer to just create new variables. So maybe for the workspace, we'll name it as Arcpy dot get parameter as text. Parameter as text. Then we'll give it 0. The next one, we also want to the text file, which is Arcpy again dot get parameter as text. Then we'll give it 1. Then next one, it's the feature class. We'll just say FC, and it's Arcpy again dot get parameter as text. We'll give it 2. So now we can change these hard-coded paths to the correct values workspace here. Then this one we can change it to text file quickly. Then you can also change this, the insert cursor to FC. So now we have made our code dynamic. We now want to convert it into a tool. So I'll just create a .py file. So I can add a Python. So I'll just have it as a text file. Then I'll rename it to text to feature .py. There. Then now we can transfer the code. We just transfer it step by step. Then also we have the return. Then let's paste that too. Oh, that's nice. We can save it. This was supposed to be Workspace. I don't know why it wasn't saved. Then this was supposed to be the text file, and then this one was supposed to be FC. So I think everything is okay right now. You can just save it. Then let's head on to Arcpy quickly and want to create our toolbox. So our toolbox, we are going to create it in let's create it in this folder. So create click and then new, and we're going to create a new toolbox. And then let's rename this toolbox to text to feature toolbox. Then now within the toolbox we need to add a script. So we'll add our script. The name of our script is text to feature. Then the label will now be the long explanation, which is text file to feature class, and it will be the label that appears, such as the one here for add script. Then the description converts text file to feature class. We can skip the style sheet. Then the script file, we need to import it. So let's find it. It was called text to feature, and it was under documents, geoprocessing. So it's this one, the .py file. Open it, and then can just click on next. So here we need to set the parameters that the user needs to input. So we need first just the input workspace. It's like the label, and then this one is like the data type. So we'll just put workspace. It can either be a workspace or a feature class. So just scroll down, feature dataset. Then next, input. We just follow this procedure. Next text file, then next FC. And FC, it seems I had not changed it. FC was supposed to be also arcpy.get parameter. I think something went wrong. I'll just save that. So next is text file, then the feature class. So back to Arcpy, input text file. Then you want it to be a text file. Next, input feature class. Then you want it to be a feature class. So here it is, like that. Then you can click finish, and now we have our script, our tool. Now this tool, we can add it into Arc Toolbox. So click on Arc Toolbox, which will be loading. Then you're just going to click at the root of Arc Toolbox at the top, and you're going to say add toolbox. Now you just add the toolbox you have created. So it's called, it's within this extension, this one. Just open it. Now comes the final part, the meat, the chunk, where we need to test to see if everything went well. So as you can see, if we double click on the tool, on the script, it brings a user interface with a form that you have already created, the labels, and now what we just need to do is just add our data. So we need to input our workspace. I'll just use the workspaces I have. Geoprocessing 1, you can add it. Then text file. Text file will be the text file which was in geoprocessing. It's called schools. Then next, the feature class, depending on where you saved yours. The feature class, it's schools, add, then click OK. So you see the process is completed successfully. We can now, let me delete this. We can now import that data and see if it's worked well. So it was in geoprocessing 1, just drop it. And as you can see guys, here are the points. You can open the attribute table to check. Since you have run this command twice, it has brought the values twice, because as you can see it reached 10, then it started again counting. So if you run the script again a third time for the same feature class, it will just add them on top. It will add the values on top, so it won't overwrite. So that's it guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to follow me on YouTube, subscribe, hit that red button just below there to support me, and then like the video, share it with others, and yeah, see you guys. Bye.